Alright, there are 2 assignments on Classroom. There is interpreting stellar data, and then there's also the star in a box simulation. So this assignment beforehand kind of goes through a good example, and basically you're going to learn some of the key categories and examples that'll help you help explain more what the star in the box simulation is doing. So if you open up the interpreting stellar data, so what I give you here is I just give you some vocab. So these are the definitions. So magnitude is a unit of measure of the brightness of a celestial star. The larger the value, the less bright the object. However, if a more negative value is a very, very bright object. So basically it starts from the negative end, being very bright, and then as it gets put to the positive, like higher, it gets less bright. Parsec is a unit of distance, so that basically 1 parsec is 3 times 10 to the 16th meters. It's much easier to measure things in space by parsecs versus measuring by meters. It's easier to grasp numbers. Absolute magnitude, the brightness of an object from a standard distance of 10 parsecs from the object. An apparent magnitude is a unit of measure how bright something appears from the surface of Earth. So all I want you to do here is, based on those definitions, figure out which one of the following stars is the brightest. And then also, can absolute and apparent magnitude be the same? And then what value of magnitude will change and how will it change as you get further from the star? Which is more useful for making comparisons of stars, absolute or apparent magnitude? And go ahead and write your answer here. So explain your answer. So now math check. So first of all, looking at these 2 data charts, basically the first question I ask you to answer is, what is the difference between these 2? So what do you notice about the scales of the numbers on the y-axis and then the x-axis, and what do you notice about the plot of data? So just describe that. Log scales. So now we're gonna talk about log scale graphs. So what you notice here is the x-axis on the second graph is the log of the data, the x values on the first graph. So if we go into the star data activity, so the first graph is I give you the x values and I give you the y values. You're going to highlight the data. You're going to go ahead and click insert, and you're going to insert a chart. So the chart you want is, you want to make sure you select on scatter, which is kind of down near the bottom. There it is. And for the x-axis, so you want to click on, double click the x-axis values, and scale factor, you're going to do, wait, where is it? There, to check log scale, right there. So when you check log scale, you're going to get a graph straight line, and if it appears to be linear, that means you did that correctly. Alright, so all you need to do is copy and paste that. So to copy and paste it, the easiest way to do this is to copy chart, and then if you go here and you can paste it in, you should be able to paste it in maybe. What I've also done is, I don't know if any of you guys have some sort of snipping tool, but snipping tool is kind of handy to paste it in. Alright. Star data. So what we have here is, we're going to look at these 4 properties of stars and how we categorize stars based on their properties. So now we're going to look at the star data tab. So I have temperature, absolute magnitude, color, and size category. So go into the accompanying Google Sheet and click on the second tab and make a log scale bubble chart that plots magnitude versus temperature with size and color. So highlight the highlight them all and say insert chart. So you're going to select chart type is going to be the bubble chart. There it is. Open up the customized sidebar by double clicking on the tab. So the vertical axis so if you see here, we're doing magnitude versus temperature. So vertical axis is going to be temperature. Just make sure it's selected there. Or this is temperature, yes. So I think it's good. Oh, we need to double check the log and make sure this is logged in. That way, there it is. So there is your bubble chart. So you're going to paste that here. So stated trend F blank increases, the size increases. So for example, like maybe looking at temperature or magnitude, so you can like look at the magnitude that you have and the temperature, and then look at the size category of the star and decide on how those relate. Stated trend is related to the color of the star. And then you should also know the stars concentrate in certain areas while others are blank. Describe these regions. So you want to describe the regions, like what common properties do these stars have in common. And then what you want to do for the number 7 is you want to go ahead and search for an HR, an Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. That basically something that looks like this. And what they graph here is, let's see, one that's easier to read. So this describes the relationship between the magnitudes and the temperatures, as you see here. So you want to copy and paste that into your thing, and then what would you need to change to make it look more like an HR diagram? And that will also be explained when you do the star in a box simulation. Right? Hopefully this helps you, and let me know if you have any questions, and I will be able to answer them as fast as I can. All right. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.